1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
You did not even send me your born anyway. Why in the world I'm around? It's hard to say. You did not even send me your born anyway. Why in the world I'm around? It's hard to say. Hey everybody, and welcome back to Reading Fanfiction with Teddy and Peter, episode 31. With you as always is me, Teddy, and with me as always, and with you also is...
Oh, it's me. It's Peter. Are you okay? Are you like,
These words don't come so easily to me, even after 31 episodes. I have to really reach for them every time.
It's surprising. You think you'd get better at it. But you've honestly gotten worse. So.
It's just because I'm becoming more myself. And, you know, the seams start to show and real vulnerable podcasting happens.
This is I mean, if we don't get a Webby for this, it's a tragedy.
Originally, I pitched this to be season 4 of Serial, but I had this whole thing set up.
Season 5 of Dissect.
Yeah. But, no, so this episode, we don't have a fan fiction. This is, I think we've done one topical episode before where we talked about when K-pop stans
which was epic.
Did the Trump ticket buying thing.
God, that was such a short amount of time ago, but it feels so long ago.
Yeah. Yeah. And now we kind of slightly different angle. But we want to talk about Arlo.
Yeah, Arlo.
This is kind of like the people versus Arlo. I think would be an appropriate.
We have beef with Arlo.
This is our case, assembled by us against Arlo, and Arlo. I assure you that this is all-out war, mutually assured destruction. I'm ready to take this to the limit with you. So, a quick descriptor of Arlo.
If you're listening, you don't know what Arlo is. What he is.
So, Arlo does have his own page on TV Tropes. Pretty much, Arlo is a personality on YouTube. Yeah. He has about 550,000 subscribers.
He has almost exactly 550,000
like
subscribers.
Give or take 1,000 or 2.
Yeah.
And his view counts are about, match that. So he's got this really dedicated base.
Yes. And
what he does, he presents himself, like his icon and the way he appears in the videos, if he does, is as this blue puppet. Kind of think like Oscar from Sesame Street. Well, not, Grover.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Grover, he does look a lot more like Grover.
Grover.
Yeah, you're right.
And
but blue.
He talks about Nintendo. He loves Nintendo. Well, sometimes you couldn't tell by the way he talks about it.
He loves Nintendo a little too much. He loves something, and he calls it Nintendo. And whether or not it is the company Nintendo, that's another story.
So the thing that Arlo does is like he fancies himself like a comedic personality, but almost like a public intellectual kind of. He talks about forecasts trends of what games by Nintendo are gonna come out.
He was like when I saw that listener, this is just after Nintendo announced Super Mario Golf, or just Mario Golf rather.
Right.
2, and I watched Arlo Arlo's reaction to it, and he called it. He knew that this is a game that hasn't been updated in 20 fucking years. Like,
well,
how did
he said
was
he
like,
knew
it's
it.
obvious. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well, did he say?
He was like,
we
he
didn't
was
do
like,
the-
he was like, I knew it. I called it. I knew it. And it was so obvious. There needed to be a Mario sports game eventually. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Well,
That it-
even aside from that points that Arlo has a massive ego.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I think.
Yes.
People might be wondering at this point, why are you watching these? Well, I have a deep, dark, you could almost call it a fetish of sorts, of just finding
Yes.
cringy content on
So,
YouTube.
yeah.
And there are many different ways you can approach that. But one of them is a thing that I think I watched some of pretty earnestly when I was much younger, but which is just like video game content, like people talking about it, reviews. And so I know like how to search for it, what it looks like.
Yeah.
And I find that whole culture just very annoying and
I
interesting.
mean, I'll be the first to say at this point, like, I feel like I am an Arlo, like, watcher. I'm an Arlo viewer.
At this point, I've sucked you in to the
Yeah.
Arloverse.
Yeah. I
And-
mean, like, I'm fully integrated. Like, I don't necessarily even... It's definitely... I'm not watching it because I like it. Certainly
No.
not. But I am watching it. And I'm watching, like... We watched, many...
We watch
minutes
it
of
a
it.
lot. And like once you watch one, his videos just get recommended, that blue puppet.
Oh my god.
And
He
so-
makes so many videos too.
He makes a lot of videos. And
And they're all like half an hour long. That's what I think is truly despicable about him. Is
yeah, there's so long.
His videos are so fucking long. His Breath of the Wild video is 3.5 hours long. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
And so we wouldn't I wouldn't keep coming back to Arlo, I think, if it wasn't his truly like just we were talking about he has these like character that are just so bold and flagrant. Like Arlo would be a great character in like a Greek play because he has such a he's so narcissistic and has such like great ambition, but like is obsessed with himself, like, and is really like sensitive too.
Well, it's so weird because it's like, and this is what we really wanted to talk about. We wanted to talk to a
because
greater
Arlo
point.
represents.
Yeah.
He is the kind of the funniest, weirdest example, but of a bigger thing. To your point.
Yeah, which is exactly that. People people like this gain so much traction from demanding something of a company that they just feel that they're for some reason inherently deserving of, and that's all Arlo does. All he does is make YouTube videos about how Nintendo should do something else.
Yeah.
Should just make something different. But very rarely do I think he... Sorry.
We're looking
at pictures. Very rarely do I think does he actually give, like, a clear plan of what to actually do. But, I mean, you're looking right now at his problem with Paper Mario video, which is what he originally got famous off of.
Yeah, so point is... I'll put a couple links probably to some Arlo videos on here, and you can look at them and you can quickly get a sense of just kind of like this man-child deluded sense of obligation, importance, which happens, I feel like, a lot with Nintendo, where it's like they're like a company.
Yeah.
And people think that it's one of those things where it's like you wouldn't like them unless they operated in the way that they do, which you don't like when you don't have control, like explicit control over it in your brain or something like that. I think just the way the company works in ways that...
Well, it's just like as a company, they can't just do something. You know what I mean? Like it's not that easy.
So
like he's just like, you should just make a better game is basically what
That's
all of his reviews boil down to.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, I guess we could just make a better game, but we just can't. Like that's like
we
sorry.
just did it.
Like we tried our best, Arlo.
It's like the problem with
given
this game is that I didn't like it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, well, I don't know, Arlo, that's not very helpful. And when he tries to be specific, he gets like, this like very pedantic voice, and like he might be making an interesting point or not, but like I cannot listen to it. He's so fucking annoying when he's like doing anything ever. Yeah.
So Arlo himself will admit in his 2020 video, Color Splash 3 years later, that in his own lore, he kind of got his come up, his rise to become really quite affluent in the
it's so funny
social.
The way he describes it is it's not even like if somebody who's like truly like proud of themselves or had a true like insane life story, they'd tell it like with the ups and downs, and it'd be very compelling. His story is just like, yeah, I was doing pretty well on YouTube, and then I kept doing well, and then I released this video and I did really well, and it was really fucking awesome, and I was doing so good, and everyone thought I was really cool also. And it's like, Arlo, what the fuck?
He's like, I don't know, and he's got this.
Yeah, he has
voice.
a fucking voice.
But he points to that. So, there was this thing that happened with a Nintendo franchise, Paper Mario, where Arlo, this is the video that he, I mean, rightfully so, I think he points to and says a lot of people found this and pretty much just gave me an audience. Is
550,000 views, by the way, is this video 4 years ago, and that again is how many subscribers he has.
Yeah,
which is insane.
So it's regarding this franchise, and Arlo says he is speaking to a feeling that he says a lot of people are feeling, and I just want to play the beginning. But that's what's insane about it. I just want you to play. I'm gonna play the beginning of this video, and keep in mind he's talking about a video game.
Yes.
Like, dear Nintendo, I'm done. I'm done. Sometimes you hold hope in your heart to help you get from day to day. You have to hold on to that hope. But after a while, you reach a point where that hope can only hurt you, and all you can do is let go and move on. It's better to simply accept that there is no hope so that you can start to heal. Nintendo, you just announced Paper Mario Color Splash, and the hope for a real Paper Mario sequel that I've been holding on to for over a decade, I'm letting it go. A lot of people will tell me not to judge the game based on this short clip, and we won't know until...
So it's kind of... So, like, there's not, as the video you find, there's not a shred of irony
it's really
to
sad.
that statement. And there's a moment that really sums it up. That comes, like, because he only just manages to top himself again and again in terms of just how petty and, like... Entitled. That's it. So I'm surfing through to find it.
I mean, I had made the analogy of Frank Ocean fans, where it's like people who think that just because they like something, they're entitled to another thing. They like want more. They're like entitled to more of it. It's like that's not how the artistic process works at all. Like you're really just like legitimizing it by being such a whiny bitch.
Oh, so I think that here this comes near the end. This is his final plea. You're not gonna believe this, everybody.
Okay. Strap it.
Already started creating. We want a real sequel to Thousand Year Door, and we want it so badly. There's nothing more I can say, Nintendo, except please. Please make the Paper Mario game I know you're more than capable of making, that we've been waiting so long for. Make it silly and creative and charming with some cool new mechanic that brings something fresh to the series. But also make it Paper Mario. Well, thanks for watching this 20-something's heartfelt plea for a storybook-themed baby game. And just in case I did get the attention of someone at Nintendo...
He really describes it well. But where's the line? Either way, it's insane.
I mean, it just strikes me as really, like, I don't know why people started feeling this way. And you brought up the point that it could be about the Lonely Goomba said 4 years ago, this video is perfect.
With 2.3 thousand upvotes.
But you had said that video games attract this specifically. And maybe you're right. I don't know.
Well, I don't think... Well, it's less that I don't think that... Less I think that it attracts it so specifically, but I think the answer to it is more ambiguous. Mm-hmm. In that, so say if someone says, say, about, a Frank Ocean album, mm-hmm. This isn't, what I... Mm-hmm. You have to listen to what I say about it. It's that's just not true. It's just his artistic expression. But I want to... When you're making, a game that... I mean, as far as, having fun can be objective, I wonder... how much, because usually, I mean, otherwise I'd just be fuck what anyone, says about it.
Maybe it's
and Arlo definitely, there's no justice to what Arlo said. There's nothing justifying how he behaves.
Well, maybe it's that there's no, maybe it's a multiple person process is why. You know what I mean? Frank Ocean can come out with an album, and it can be well, Frank Ocean decided that, so he's just, clearly a better musician than some random person. Yeah. And so, then it's okay, so it's legitimized, and, his choices are thought to be better. But for some reason, people just, don't take the fact that, they feel there's a lower barrier to entry for being a video game developer than being, any other type of artist.
Yeah.
And, so they have, a privilege of talking. When they're just all Arlo, and they're all so fucking annoying.
And just, I mean, how many times can you say entitlement? But just what he takes for granted in his quivering demand, where he's just make it I was also saying to Peter, this he describes this. So the arc with the Paper Marios, he makes this reference where he says, "We want another 1,000-year door." That game came out in 2003.
Yeah.
And so in the Paper Mario fandom, every game since then has been not good enough for them. Progressively worse and worse.
Yeah.
And I will say I played one of them, and that's one Arlo really doesn't like. And I agreed that it was not that good, but it's not the concept that's their responsibility to have it be just because they are able to do it is so...
Well, it's so weird to think that just because they chose the way that the game is, that they obviously knew that they could have done that. They made the choice not to do that.
Exactly.
To make a different game. And it's why would you think that your opinion matters at all in that?
Yeah. And Arlo makes this crazy argument in the middle of the video where he's if you loved Paper Mario as much as we do, he uses we a lot. It's very weird. As much as we do, you wouldn't have done this. You wouldn't have done this. You wouldn't have done this.
Yeah.
It's
dude, they fucking made it. What do you mean they don't love it?
And it's
as much as you. You're a fucking weirdo.
And it's a video game.
For children.
For this 20-something. And I mean, the narcissism, I have other videos pulled up on other tabs where it's just him, he just doesn't let go of the paper. It becomes his thing.
It's a thing.
He loves himself. So it's
well, I think
Nintendo's changed, so is there hope for Paper Mario? Talking about Paper Mario has become kind of awful. Let's talk about that disturbing Origami King interview. That's another
Paper Mario.
fucking Paper Mario. And it's just...
Well, so I think it's crazy. I think a good example is that the original video is 8 minutes and 47 seconds, and the 3 years later video is 30 minutes.
Yeah, these videos
It's like
just get longer and longer.
They just get so... And he's just talking about himself in that. The whole time. He's summing up a video that it is half the length of it. Less than half the length of it.
Yeah. Now, here's a bit of a morality tale for... Now, Arlo has actually already blocked us. Arlo is, I can honestly say, the only person I've ever been blocked by on Twitter. And you too, Peter, because this was right when we found him.
Yeah.
This was a while ago. And we tweeted at him, at Arlo, will you fuck me in my little butthole?
I think maybe you said that. I said something about a cunt of some kind.
So we just asked Arlo to have sex with us.
And it was a pretty good prank.
Like, really to put us, like, into submission. And I feel like a real YouTuber worth their salt would have been able to, like... But we just immediately were blocked.
Yeah, immediately blocked. I'm trying to find them now. I don't know if I'll be able to. But, it was a while ago,
But
too.
either way, point is, Arlo is infuriating, and it'll be up to you whether it's worth being so infuriated about him.
Yeah.
But I do believe that he stands his whole platform and the way he feels empowered to talk about being a quote unquote fan, like what that means and what that entitles to you to, I think is a ongoing and developing. I
think the big thing, that's your perspective. I want the viewers, or the listeners rather, to go home and report to me on what's happening in Arlo's life. I'm blocked. We're blocked.
Yeah.
I need to know what's happening. So if you're listening to this, please, I'm begging you, you need to tell me.
And that would be until then, the greatest fan fiction of all for us is what is Arlo saying and doing, because we have to make it up ourselves as fans.
Exactly. And honestly, if you're out there and you are thinking to yourself, man, I would love an Arlo fan fiction, you should go.
There's no Arlo
and do
fan
it.
fictions.
And that's honestly, I think that's my theme at the end of it. That's what I want to drive home. Is if you want to make an Arlo fan fiction, I would read that and I would really like it.
Yeah, and Arlo famously in his video, he doesn't like memes being made about him unless they're really nice and make him like look good.
Yeah, he has a good video on
he has a really good, I'll link that. It's like, he's like about the Arlo memes, and he just says, be nice to me.
I think that's like when he's
so sensitive and like paranoid. That was when we tweeted at him. We thought maybe we would be in it, but we weren't.
No, that's too bad.
But
it's like these memes are not funny. It's like I want to lick your cunt. These ones are good.
These ones aren't so good. And it's like, he took care of us.
Yeah, no, he did. Swiftly.
And if he finds this, I say, Arlo, I want you and your shitbag legal team to come at us guns blazing. From the Eric Andre interview.
I would like to talk to Arlo if he hears this. I want to sit down with him and really ask him what he gets out of it. Besides money, I guess. Maybe he just gets money. Maybe that's why he's doing it.
I would like to know directly when asked, Arlo would, I want to see him, when, investigated, but I want to see him tell me about his feelings about Paper Mario.
Oh. You want that.
Well, I want to like see him. I want to be the ones that like instigate the reply.
Okay.
I want to see it for myself.
You want him to go into a fury.
Well, I want to have a debate about it. I guess is what I'm saying.
Oh,
I
because you
want to
disagree with him at a certain level.
Yeah, I think he's just what he wants is delusional, and it's just like
Yeah.
as far as what he thinks he like will get a better game is the same thing as what he wants
Yeah.
necessarily.
Like what
It's just
makes
not
Arlo
true.
happy? Like what makes him truly happy?
He
Like,
loves
that's what
being
like coddled?
he loves being agreed with
Yeah, that's true.
and like told he's
Like but you
cool.
can't make a video game of that, you know what I mean? Like you can't
Yeah.
make that into a video game. That wouldn't be a video game. Maybe Arlo just shouldn't play video games.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't. His videos are really just him talking, and then it's
Yeah,
footage
it's
of
so
games that he's not even playing. It's just some footage, and someone else edits these videos.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
usually has like a different one every
He's
week or
quite
something.
a bozo.
Yeah. So, so this was another, investigation into fandom at large. We came back.
I mean, I would say that
One
Arlo
Piece.
is certainly a type of fan fiction, in that like
Yes.
you are a fan and you're making a fiction of the world,
Yeah.
and it's really sad.
Especially when it's about something so meaningless.
So meaningless. I
I
mean,
mean,
it's a parody of itself. I
yeah.
mean, think about that fucking
Not meaningless, but not meaningful.
yeah. The Paper Mario video. That's like
It's
like
about
it seems like a Conor O'Malley bit or something.
Yeah.
It's like what the fuck?
just insane priorities.
Yeah, you're just like not. He's so like normal pilled. You know? He's very normal pilled.
He's been
He's
normal
Nintendo pilled.
I mean, he is. I mean, in a way, it's kind of like how you kind of envy the blue pillars, where
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
like this is his career, and it seems like he just gets emotional satisfaction over like the comings and goings of news of Nintendo, and that's being a fan, man. When your life just really
That's what I'm saying. It's
shares the saddle of Nintendo.
I mean, that's a tough life. I feel like that's a really tough life.
Well, we'll let you, the viewer, decide that
There'll be a poll
at
in
home.
Discord.
There'll be a poll in the Discord. And I'll guess we'll see you on the next one, everyone.
Good night.
Good night and good luck.